Hey everybody, happy Monday. Thanks for jumping on. It's 11, so we're just going to get started. If more people jump on, that's awesome. This is being recorded, so if you want to go back and kind of look at it afterwards, you're more than welcome to do that. So Moxi Works is where you're going to go. We're going to go over websites today and how to customize them. So the system gives you options to be able to customize the website that they've already created. You can even create completely custom pages. We're not diving in that deep today. That would be more of a setting up a marketing meeting. So Moxi Works, my website up there, as you saw, and then we'll get into it. And if you have any questions, feel free to throw them in the chat or take yourself off of mute and stop me if you need to. That's totally fine as well. So this is where you're going to get into when you click on my website. So if you have a website, you've already seen this and you've probably already done some of these tasks. Maybe you did it when we did the changeover and you just haven't touched it since. That's totally fine. We're going to go over some of the common things and then we'll dive in a little bit more as well. So over here on the left, you're going to have the different areas that you can go to in your website. So appearance, this is going to talk about the colors, the header, the footer, and the layout. So we'll start there and then we'll kind of work our way down. So these are the options that it gives you. So company default, global luxury, if you sell mostly global luxury, that'll give you that black and white look, or company default, which is going to be the blue and white. So you have different options as well for the layout. So you can have it search focused, which means the main thing that people are going to see when they go to your website is to search for houses. You can have it focused on yourself. So agent focused, you want your bio to come up when people go to your website. My suggestion is probably putting it on that search focus because most people are online looking for houses. And then your bio will also be on that homepage as well as they scroll down. And again, you could actually create a custom page if you wanted to do that. One thing I do want to note here, anytime you make a change, you click something, you change it, you must hit publish. If you don't hit publish, nothing you've done is going to save, and then you're going to lose it all, and then you're going to wonder why your website is not updating. So in every step that we go through here today, just make sure you're hitting publish when you're doing these things. So we'll go next to homepage. So this is the page that shows up when somebody goes to your website. So I'm just going to pull my website up here real quick. So I did some customization on mine that I can show you. So the picture itself, you can see that I threw my logo in here, and this was a photo that I found in Canva actually. So you can update that, or they have stock photos in here as well that you can use. So if you want to change that image, you'll have one of the stock photos if you've never touched this, upload or choose image. So from your computer, they're making you say, hey, I know this is not a copywritten photo. So you do own the photos of the listings that you have gotten photos taken of. So you could essentially actually use one of your listings. My biggest suggestion here is to make your photo look like our market, right? So don't choose some full glass windowed house out of California where there's like mountains in the background and things like that. That is not our market, and it's going to be very confusing to the customer when they come to your website. Like, this is nothing I've ever seen in Pennsylvania, right? Like, don't put the Hollywood sign, that would be silly. So image gallery, if you click over here, they have different ones, right? This may or may not be a high-end home that would be built here, but that's not what our typical houses look like in this area, right? Terracotta house roofs are not something we see very often. They are here. This looks more like something in our market. This looks like a city home, right? Maybe if you were like selling in Lancaster City, I know they've done some great conversions, York City as well. But this is not typical to our market. Same thing with this one. So you're just gonna kind of scroll through here if you don't have an image to upload yourself and find one. This is probably San Francisco, right? If you want to just use a brick wall, I don't suggest that. definitely not our market. Very cool. But again, probably not an image that you're looking for. This looks like something that could be in our market. I don't need to keep going through all of these photos, but there's a bunch in here for you to choose from if you don't have one that you want to upload yourself. And if anybody needs any help with doing what I did, throwing your logo on a photo, I can definitely help you with that as well. So image library is just going to be anything that you uploaded. So I use the blog function here, which we will kind of go over a little bit as well. But so these are all images that I've uploaded into this system. So once you choose whatever photo, it'll show up over here, and that's how you'll know that it's been updated. You can choose your text color here. So depending on the color scheme that you choose, your text color is going to make a difference, right? If you do global luxury and then you say, I want all my text to be black, you're probably going to have just a black header with no text in it. And then this background effect. So this should fix that, but I did notice when I was messing with mine probably 6 months ago that depending on the color choice, it did not actually fix it. So the idea of this background effect would be to change the image and text so that you could actually read it. So whatever you do, just hit publish and then go back to your website and refresh and then see what it looks like. It is mostly done in real time, so you'll be able to actually see what you're doing as you're doing it. So this show simple custom text here. So that's right here. So find your home here, and then search is there. So you can type anything you want in there, right? Like find your dream home in Central PA or whatever you want it to be. And then down here is all of this stuff. So there was something that was showing like a rental agent in one of these. So if you haven't checked this part of your profile in the Moxi website section, you might want to do that. It was just something that pulled in when we switched over to Moxi. But yeah, so this right here, the welcome text is going to be this. So you do have a full bio option, but that's not what that welcome text is. So this is, think of it as like a summary version of your bio, right? You don't want 4 or 5 paragraphs on your homepage of your website, just a quick little synopsis of who you are, what you do, who you work with, whatever you want people to know, and that will then show up here. This can be movable, but we'll get into that later as well. Featured properties. So these are some options that I think people really should get into updating, only because if this is selected and it's your active listings or your sold listings and you're not a high producer that has a ton of listings all the time, your website's gonna be bare, right? So this is what we're looking at here. So featured properties, and there's a way to set it up so that it's not high price to low price, because that's how it was before, like the default version, I'm sorry. So it would show like the $1 million houses, and that's fine if that, I mean, everybody would love a $1.5 million sale commission, right? But if that's not your typical sale price, those aren't the people you're advertising to, that could turn off some people. So a mix is good. You can create a property list too, but if you're not going to be coming in here and messing with this pretty often, I would set this to my office listings, right? So then it'll pull all of Coldwell Banker's office listings, companies' active listings. So there's different options in here that you can choose. Number of properties to display. So this is not the area you want people to be scrolling forever. So throwing in, 10 to 15 would be good. And then they can do their own searches. So custom search module, this is basically I'll go in here. So you see how it says Harrisburg, PA here. So if I type in, or if I just hit that search button, I've created a custom search that automatically takes people to this area. So that's where it'll take them to, and then they can search elsewhere in the website. And the way you do that is create custom search, and then you basically it tells you what to do here. We're not going to go through this specifically right now, but it does tell you exactly what to do. So you would basically just go back into here and create the search that you want. And then you're going to copy the URL up here and then paste it here and then hit save. And then that would be the default search that shows up for people every time that they go onto your website. So back to here. So blog, if you're going to use the blog, you can do that. You can have that setting in here as well. Links, if you want to use links. If you want a featured video, so if you want to get fancy, you can create a video that welcomes people on your homepage as well. So I didn't do that, so we don't have anything in there. We're going to hit cancel. I don't know if I messed with anything. And then we'll go back to the next. So site pages. So these are all of the pages on your website, right? So we'll go back to home on the website here. And this is talking about this stuff here. So the way it's set up, I think that there's probably like 8 or 10 tabs up top. And I actually filtered them down. So it's just a few different ones there, right? So properties, it has all of these under it. And then you can see that some of them are hidden and not hidden, right? So my active listings are hidden, office listings are hidden, companies active listings. So I basically set this up for more of a search aspect, which when people do search, then those listings come up. You're not taking that out of there, but I didn't think that it needed to have 7 different tabs under that properties. So just to kind of show you what I'm talking about, these are the options that come up when somebody hovers over properties there. Same concept, buying and selling. So buying and selling tips, financial calculators, those are things that come up here. About me. So this is where your full bio is within here as well. And so if you want to edit something, for instance, you want to edit your bio, you literally just hit the bio button, and then it will show you different options, right? So once you choose that and you have your bio, and this bio is pulling from your My CB Desk profile. So just make sure that that profile is set up how you want it to feed out. And then you're just going to hit publish there, and it'll update and publish your bio. So we'll go back to site pages over here. And you can, any of these, you can edit different things about them. And if you want to change the order of something, you literally just drag and drop it. So clicking on the dots on the left, you drag and drop it to wherever you want it to be within the tabs. And you can do it with these bigger tabs as well. The home page obviously needs to stay at the top because it's the page people go to. But if you want different things in a different order, you can absolutely do that. So there's other options here as well, blog, all of that stuff. If you don't have a blog, I would just suggest hiding this, because if somebody goes and clicks on your blog and they see nothing, they might not think that you're very active. I know that blogging isn't everybody's cup of tea, but if you can throw out one a week or one every other week with just information on the market, I would highly suggest it. It'll really help with your search engine optimization, especially if you're writing it specifically using keywords that people would search with when looking for a home. So that just means that it'll make your web page show up higher ranked than other websites. All right, so a few other things. So we'll go down and we'll look at blogs. So if you go to blog posts, this is where that is at. It gives you markers on how things are performing, how easily readable things are. You can hit add new up here, and then it basically tells you add a title, write your stuff here. You can even save it as a draft. So if you just have a day that you want to block out and just write some articles, you can do it and keep them in draft form. And then, every Monday is actually when I put my blogs up. So I usually like to have 1 or 2 ready to go just in case my day gets busy and I don't have time to think and write up a blog. And then you can put them in categories, tag them, and it'll give you a snippet over here. So once you put an image, the image will show up here with the title of the blog. So for instance, website test, right? So it's going to give you the article name, your name, on your website. The article name or the blog name will show up here, and then it'll give you a snippet of what it's about. And then readability analysis, so it'll tell you if it's easily readable to people and things like that. If you have a team, you can actually give administrator rights to your website. You can add your team members through here. Builder, so this is where you can build pages from scratch. And SEO talks about search engine optimization, and you can click through to that as well. But the main things are really just customizing some of the stuff on your website, right? So you want it to be as easy to use as possible for people. And I think that the websites are set up pretty nice, right? Oh, one thing, let's go back to site pages real quick, because I do get this question a lot on testimonials. So about me, so testimonials here. So if we go in and we hit view, of course, we'll hit edit actually. So edit is where you can add testimonials to your website. So there is not a direct link for people to put a testimonial on your website, but if you have a Google business page, you have Zillow, you have Facebook, and people have left you reviews, all you have to do is copy and paste them into here. You can even choose an image if you want. So if you take photos of people when they buy or sell a house, you can add that. Obviously, you want their permission if you're putting their face on your website, but a picture of the house would be fine. And I always suggest adding images when you can. It helps you, again, with that SEO. If it's just a bunch of words, that is okay. But a picture oftentimes gives it a little bit more. So you literally header, right? So home sold to such and such, this date, this area, whatever you want it to say. And then the content would be the actual review that they left. And then down here, visible or hidden, obviously there would be no reason for you to hide a testimonial. If you were given one that you didn't want on your website, you just wouldn't add it, right? So that's where that makes sense. But this is really cool. I like this idea. So to be fair, I haven't actually done this. However, we have those QR codes now, and I actually thought that it would be a really cool idea to use this page and create a QR code if you're doing advertising somewhere, look what everybody else is saying about me or something like that would be a great tool for this. And you could do that asking for reviews on Google and Facebook, social media, Zillow, all of that stuff as well. I'm a big supporter of the QR codes. But anyway, that is a basic rundown. I wanted to leave some time for questions if anybody has them. I know that this changeover has been a little tough for some people. So my trainings are typically a half hour. So it looks like we have about 12 minutes if anybody has questions. Looks like Stacy has her hand up. Go ahead, Stacy. Oh, I think you're muted. Stacy, are you able to take yourself off of mute? No. Okay. Not sure. Anybody else have any questions? Or want me to go back and show you where something is? Struggles you're having with the websites, anything like that? No? All right, well then I guess this was a pretty quick training. Like I said, I did record it. I know it can be a lot. If you click on the wrong thing, you might get a little frustrated as to where it's taking you. But if anybody wants to set up like a 30-minute one-on-one with me to help you with your website, I know you can do that with marketing, but I'm also more than willing to do that, set up an in-person in the office meeting and we can kind of go through it. But if you don't have anything else, that's it for today. GRA is hosting that Barry Habib on the 3rd floor at 1 o'clock if anybody's interested and wants to come in for that. But otherwise, have a great Monday, guys. Thanks again for jumping on.